Hey guys, welcome back. And well, again, thank you. Thank you for joining us for Hot Messy Topics. And thank you for just checking out the LA vlog. Thank you for all of the nice comments. And don't forget, this week is going to be a massive week when it comes to Bravo. We have Southern Charm. We have Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Last night we had the second part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta with Roni. We also have the Real Housewives of Orange County and Below Deck. It's like one after another. This is a huge Bravo week. So we're going to have a lot of lives on top of more hot, messy topics. But I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a Raquel Leviss update, formerly known as Raquel. We're going to jump right in. Before we do all the YouTube things, hit the like button and let's do it.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, you guys. So we were wondering what the future for Raquel looked like after this Bethenny Frankel interview. Now, when she sat down with Bethenny, she definitely gave her side of the story, and her side was challenged afterwards by multiple different cast members. Ariana said that she was disappointed in the way that she used the platform, and she still didn't take much accountability. She kind of lended out the blame. Then you saw Sheena, where Sheena challenged a few things like the cat story and also the apartment. Lala Kent chimed in and she was like, I never stole Brock's house. They just didn't understand what the actual point of the interview was. In the interview, she went on to say that she no longer wants to be famous and she's not going to sell her soul for reality TV, which a lot of fans said was a contradiction because at the end of the day, when it came down to it, she did say that she was trying to get the same amount of money as Tom and Ariana, and she wanted to get her mental health facility paid for by Bravo. But since they couldn't do that, then no, she wasn't returning. So then fans met her with, oh, okay, so wait, your mental health has a price sticker on it? Well, now she went on and returned to Instagram for the first time since her interview with Bethenny Frankel, and she shared a very peaceful video. Let's play it for you really quick. So even though she has her name on here as Raquel Leviss, I saw where some people, and I'm going to explain this to you really quick. I saw where some people were like, well, why is her name still Raquel on the verified check mark? When I did the interview with Fallon, and this is the backstory. When I did the interview with Fallon and her name with the verified checkmark was Fallon Gobadia, I think it took her 3 weeks to a month to get it changed to Fallon Pina. And that was a big deal. Like she had to go through the whole process with Instagram and Meta, and she had to request it. They had to figure out if that was available. Can she change it? Can she not? And eventually they ended up changing it. But I'm guessing that Raquel has to go through the same process. But here is her peaceful video. She said, I've been dreaming of a place like this, #flower farm, #flower arranging. And if you see, a lot of the comments are really, really nice when it comes to Raquel right now. Like, I'm so glad that you've allowed comments as I've wanted to encourage you. Realistically, you probably won't see this, LOL, but it's all good. You're such a lovely young lady and you deserve the world. This is gorgeous. Despite everything that's happened to you, you deserve to be able to move on and live a happy life. And she just put this video up at the flower farm where I think she's kind of sharing with everybody that she's at peace and she's entertaining this new area in her life. Like, what does this look like for her? Bethenny Frankel was met with the backlash of, oh, you exploited her. Oh, you used her for ratings on your podcast. How are you any better? Like, how are you any different than Vanderpump Rules using her as well? And Bethenny Frankel was like, how do you guys know I'm not paying her? How do you guys know that we didn't work out a deal? How do you guys know that I'm not helping her in some business or monetary way? You don't. And if I am, which you will never know, we're not sharing it with you, which makes me believe that she is doing something. But like I said, as you can see, that was the first time since the reality reckoning video was shared on her platform that she said anything. And I'm guessing it's not going to be the last. I feel like she's going to start posting a lot more soon because she did answer some of the comments when it came to her Instagram post. Let's get to them because I just wanted to see what you guys thought. One person said, again, I'm so glad that, here, I'm going to bring it up. I'm so glad that you've allowed the comments, as I wanted to encourage you. Realistically, you probably won't see this, LOL, but it's all good. You are such a lovely young lady and deserve the world. Just like anyone else in this world, we all make mistakes. We just don't have our broadcast all over the world for everyone to see. I'm sure that many casting stones at you were living in glass houses, and I cringe at the thought of some of my 20-ish-year-old self antics on display for my friends, family, and public to witness and to comment on. You do you. You've got your whole life ahead of you. Rachel and I pray for peace and happiness for you. And she said, thank you for your kind words. But then another person wanted to know about the podcast update. That's what people want to know. So if you didn't listen to the Bethenny Frankel podcast with Rachel, she said, well, Bethenny asked her, what do you want to do next? Like, what is the goal? And she said that I think I really want to do a podcast. I want to do a podcast that's going to help women, that's going to inspire them. She said, word for word, verbatim, I really am impassioned by learning about myself and the psychology behind all of this. And I'm just taking the steps to start my own podcast. I feel like it would be a great way to share my side of the story and bring on experts that really understand the psychology behind it. And I feel like this is an area that's untapped because nobody really wants to talk about being the other woman. And as for many people and the people that I've hurt or people that have been hurt by this affair, there's equally as many people that have been that other person. Bethenny was championing it. It kind of makes me think that Bethenny is probably helping her land this podcast, but I don't think that she needs Bethenny's help to land the podcast because even with her doing the interview with Bethenny, I believe there were a few other people who wanted this interview, who offered money for this interview, and she didn't take them. She didn't take any of them. Her mom, like she said in this interview with Bethenny, her mom is a huge Bethenny fan and liked what Bethenny was doing with the reality reckoning because I think her mom could relate to it in that moment based off of what her daughter was going through. So whether it was like Good Morning America or Good Day LA or I don't know, Jimmy Kimmel, I don't know. I don't know who offered her to come on and do an interview. But I heard that she was offered, and I heard she was offered money, and that's not the route that she chose, even though we don't know if Bethenny did pay her or not, because like Bethenny said, we will never know. But I think that Bethenny would probably be helping her start this podcast, line up the experts, get it going. And I think based off of what she got for ratings and how much money they made off of this podcast, that she's probably trying to champion her as much as possible so she comes out of this on top and as successful as possible. Even according to that Dumas, where they were saying that Greg, who is Tom Sandoval's business partner and Tom Shorts' business partner for Shorts and Sandy's, that he was offered to go on a podcast or just be with Bethenny podcast. I just wonder, like, what is the goal? But I'm going to leave that open for interpretation. Guys, I want to hear what your thoughts are. So go ahead, comment below. Let us know what you think. And before you go, do all the YouTube things, smash the like button, get subscribed over here to the Up and Adam channel too, and we'll see you next time. Love you guys.